Hello world, it's Vagabond here and welcome to Kazakhstan. In this episode we are going to explore the remote fishing communities of the Aral Sea. The infamous Aral Sea, which is vanishing for more than 50 years step by step due to extensive irrigation which was going on in Soviet Union. The waters of the rivers which were supplying the Sea of Aral with water, they were used for irrigation of cotton fields, and because of that the Aral Sea started shrinking. It was becoming smaller and smaller every year. Today we are going to dive deeper into the countryside of Kazakhstan to explore the rural part of the sea and find actual people who live off fishing. Well, that looks quite solid, not gonna lie. Check it out. What is available in this grocery store? Well, pretty much everything essential. They have some, I see some buckwheat, noodles, a bunch of drinks, 5 liters of water. Should be enough for a couple of days. Здравствуйте. Вы случаем едете в сторону Акиспе? Вы едете туда? А можно ли как-то к вам присоединиться до Акиспе? Возьмете? Круто. Горло болит? Это все назад можно загрузить? Okay. So I just went to the grocery store and there is the car parked next to it basically. Вы туристы? And the guys are basically working here, so I decided to ask them whether they go to the village which I go, and they do, so apparently I'm going to join them. What a miracle. I would never believe that the very first time when I connect to Starlink Wi-Fi is going to happen in the middle of nowhere of Kazakhstan. In someone's car. And this entire area is so remote that there is no mobile connection, obviously no internet, so therefore the only way to access the web is to have your own internet. So we made it to the very first stop of our adventure. You can already see a portion of the Aral Sea there on the background. This is basically the source of hot water rich on hydrogen sulfide or something. I'm trying the water with my hand and it's really hot, like the hot water from the tap basically. There is another kind of the pool where water is already cooled down a little bit, and over there you can take a seat and basically relax. And if you smell the water, it smells a little bit like Axe, you know, which is typical for this kind of hydrogen sulfide. Hello guys. Yeah, nice to meet you. You are touring Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Austria.
Austria, fantastic. Österreich. Yeah. How much time you spend here in this area?
In this area just a few days, because Kazakhstan is so big, and I have to pass on to Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. And
so you're driving around the Aral Sea basically?
now, yeah, we do the tour around the Aral Sea.
Yeah, fantastic. So how do you like Kazakhstan in general?
Great.
Okay.
I like it, this endless landscape and no people.
Full.
Yeah.
It's full. Noch full.
Ah, it's full.
Hier ist es sleeping.
Aha.
Hier schlafen.
Gut. Für zwei Personen.
Viel Platz, siehst du, viel Platz. Und auch hoch ist sehr gut.
Und das kann dein Arbeitsplatz?
Mein Frühstück, Essen kann man hier, also ja.
Ja.
Man kann auch hier nochmal kochen.
Fantastisch.
Oder Abwasch.
Super. Klimakontrolle?
Der Klimakontrolle nicht, aber Kontrolle vor alle Elektrik. Heizung kann man jetzt, ich habe jetzt noch eine, ich mache jetzt aus, auf Nacht hat die 14 Grad, jetzt off. Heizung auf, off.
Und das ist Dusch?
Das ist Dusch.
Gut. Und wie viele Tage kannst du mit einem Tank Wasser reisen?
Wenn die Frau wenig verbraucht, abwaschen, 100 Liter habe ich.
Gut.
100 Liter hier drunter. Und wenn die viel duscht, ist wenig, oder wenn man...
Ist das genug für 2, 3 Tage?
3, 5 Tage oder sowas kann ich auch, wenn man sparsam ist, 5 Tage, ja.
Gut.
Komme ich schon gut hin.
Ja, danke schön für die Tour.
Bitte.
Ja. Fantastic. Yeah, this is the best way to travel around this area, most definitely. You can sleep there, you can cook some things and basically enjoy the ride. Yeah, danke schön für die Tour.
Bitte, bitte.
Ja, sehr interessant.
Was machst du? Machst du Sport oder was du so?
Nein.
Aber macht man in Russland so, dass man kräftig die Hände drückt?
Ja.
Putin kann das auch gut. Putin kann auch gut zudrücken. Da fallen einem auch die Hände ab, habe ich gehört.
They have this kind of benches where you can basically take a seat, put your feet into the water, and not gonna lie, it's pretty damn hot. Sounds like we are going to have lunch in an actual Kazakh yurt. Check this out. Ой, ничего не вижу. Здравствуйте. Сейчас надо...
Снимайте, пожалуйста.
Ой, тут нельзя, да? Или вас нельзя снимать? Хорошо, не буду. This portion of Kazakhstan is famous for camel breeding, and therefore milk here is also special. So I've just been given the camel milk to try for the first time in my life, which is pretty interesting actually. It has a flavor which is kind of like a mix of kvass and milk, you know? It's kind of like a mildly carbonated milk, I would say. It's a little bit more sour than standard one, but still tastes very good.
Сфоткались вчера.
Это...
Аральском берегу.
Да. А рыбаков вы видели?
Не сезон же. Рыбаков не будет. Не сезон сейчас.
А тут это сезонное, получается, явление? И когда тут можно рыбаков встретить?
Нелегальных встреч.
Каких-нибудь? Many thanks to local Kazakh people who shared their meal with me. Yeah, I greatly appreciate Kazakh hospitality. I've got some controversial information that supposedly this month, so May, it's not the season of fishing, and people who go fishing these days, they're basically poachers, so like illegal fishermen. Привет, ты местный?
Да.
Как зовут?
Алфамс.
Приятно, Иван. Иван, я вот сейчас иду в заброшенную часть поселка, а потом в обычную.
Вот старый.
Старый, да, получается?
Новый вон там.
The guy is fully covered with jackets and gloves, which is not surprising considering that we are in steppe. There is zero chance for you to hide from the sun. I know that I will regret my decision to wear a t-shirt by the end of this day. It's okay, like it's May right now, but ultraviolet index is already high. It's not super high yet, and that's why I thought maybe, okay, let's just wear a t-shirt, not a big deal, but actually a big deal considering that there is no shadow at all. Check it out, not a single tree around. Damn it. In addition to vanishing of the Sea of Aral, local fishing communities had to struggle with some other issues. For example, the issue of sand dunes, which step by step started approaching local settlements and forced people to move from them. I'm currently in one of the ghost fishing towns, ghost fishing villages to be precise, which consisted only of 2 streets, but currently it's not inhabited anymore. So people who lived here, supposedly they were fishermen, they had to move to another village which was built a few kilometers away from here, because this land has already been conquered by sand. Sand which was blown from the place where used to be the sea in the past, the sea bottom. Nowadays it's an open air, so sand from there is coming here and it's covering these villages step by step. And we can see that the level of sand nowadays reaches the level of the window. As a result, yeah, we have an entire ghost town over here on the coast, almost on the coast of the Aral Sea, which is actually visible. If you're attentive enough, we are roughly 10 kilometers away from the coastline. I suggest of having a look of the interior of one of these abandoned rural Kazakh houses. Let's see what's going on there. That's how the approach looks, and the entrance is here, right? So what we can see inside, it's basically a little bit of the furniture left. 2 chairs, soft chairs, Believe it or not, they even have a TV over here. Apparently these are members of the family who used to live here. And check it out, this photograph is not that old, it was taken just 7 years ago. This one was taken in 2023, a family of people. Interesting. There is an entire box actually full of some papers and you can say child memories maybe. The child health passport. Apparently this is the list of some vaccines. It looks like the carpet with the illustration of Mecha cube. Apparently someone got married, but they didn't take their photograph with them to their new place. Maybe this box will be taken eventually by someone. Especially this TV, like it's still here, unbelievable. Has not been sold yet. Or maybe just no one is watching TV anymore, don't know. And that's how it looks. The yard, which is also entirely abandoned. Привет! Вы, ребята, из этого аула? Вы местные? Отдыхаете, катаетесь на мотоцикле? Здорово! Я сейчас тоже иду в ту сторону. По-русски чуть-чуть, да? Окей, окей. Окей, я просто путешествую. Саяхат. Саяхат. И Арал. Арал, да. Арал, Тunisie. Well, friendly Kazakh kids, what can I say? Just casually driving their motorcycle here and there. That's kind of the freedom they have here in this vast terrain. No one can stop them from doing so. When I was a teenager, I was invited to the village where my friend was born. We were 13 or 14 years old and we were casually driving the motorcycle there. No problem. As soon as you don't go to some main road where potentially some police may stop you, then no problem. А вот это место, это получается рыбацкая ферма? То есть здесь живут рыбаки? То есть рыбаки, которые в Аральском море рыбачат. А сейчас вот в мае рыбалка там идет? Запрет. Сейчас запрет рыбалки, да? А когда можно увидеть здесь рыбалку? Месяц? Июнь. То есть через месяц можно увидеть. Понял, понял. Сейчас в море никто не ходит, да? Понятно. Fishing here has temporarily stopped for about 1 month. Apparently it happens all the time in spring, so it's highly unlikely that we will be able to find actual fishermen in the sea. It's just not allowed to do fishing temporarily. But anyway, so at least we managed to interact with local people and all of them seem to be quite friendly and nice. You see, like this village, it's basically one street. There is not so much to see and do apart from talking to local people, of course. That's the first sign of actual presence of fishermen. There are 2 boats which apparently used for fishing. Оп. Привет, привет. Как тебя зовут? Меня зовут Ваня. Иван. Привет. Здравствуйте. Sounds like we're gonna talk to actual fishermen potentially. Да, салам алейкум. Не пугайтесь, я снимаю видео про Аральское море. Да, благодарю. Вы похожи на рыбака. Вы рыбак непосредственно, да? Вы, получается, работали рыбаком на как бы на лодке или на судне, на полноценном, на Аральском море?
На лодке.
Вот какие там лежат, да, за домом?
Ага.
Небольшие.
Небольшие, да, маленькие.
То есть вы как бы работали на какую-то фирму или на себя?
Нет, мы ловим, а прямо сюда сдадим.
Некий рыбзавод тут или что такое, ферма?
Да.
Ага, ага, интересно. А какую рыбу вы ловили там?
Сазан, судак, лечь, жерех, вовла.
Аральское море, оно же когда начало вообще потихоньку сокращаться и исчезать? Еще в 60-е, по-моему, да?
В 59 году пошел чуть-чуть.
В 59-м, то есть вот...
Короче, 60.
То есть вот сейчас, где оно, и как раньше было, это километров 10-15, да, оно отошло?
Да. Здесь, с Аральска 100 километров пошел.
Тут люди в основном сейчас чем занимаются? Они рыбаки по-прежнему? Или вот я смотрю, есть верблюды, лошади?
Лошадь, верблюд, потом здесь некоторые в школе есть.
В школе?
В школе. И пенсионеры, еще некоторые рыбачат. Они прямо рыбу берут, сразу продают.
И как здесь обстановка с питьевой водой? Она есть?
Есть питьевой?
То есть скважина?
Не, скважина здесь 18 километров с Кусаман. Отсюда качает. Раньше водовозом везли воду.
А сейчас трубопровод появился.
Трубопровод.
There is a truck approaching us. Let's see if there is going to be any chance for us to catch a lift with it. Oh. Здрасте. У вас нету места? Салам алейкум. Я сам русский орос. Саксаул еду. Да. Вас не знаю, тут место есть, нет? Может, смотри, может наверх? Нет? I think no one ever hassled that much with me during hitchhiking in a positive way. See, there is very limited space in this truck, but the guys still want to pick me up. So they're fixing properly fixing the backpack. So we're gonna all fit inside the cab and there's gonna be enough space for all of us. Okay. Спасибо. So it's gonna be a long road for us to that town, that settlement, probably a couple of hours. But hey, that's an adventure. The guys in this giant truck are absolute legends. They gave me a lift all the way to the railway town where I started this adventure today. So thanks to them very much, and today I actually need to continue the journey to reach the major city. The major city of the surrounding area. Nowadays there are no ships on the Sea of Aral, but there are other ships, the ships of the desert, camels. Camel breeding nowadays is one of the means of living off for locals. That's how a lot of them make living, so they basically collect camel's wool, camel's milk, camel's meat potentially. And yeah, that's what they're doing. See, this guy is very interested in me. Hello. Хотите попасть в мое видео?
Да. Ютубер?
Да. Давай еще раз познакомимся. Как тебя зовут?
Меня зовут Олджас.
Олджас. Меня зовут Иван. Приятно. И тебя?
Меня зовут Амина.
Амина. Очень приятно. Это вот местные детишки в Саксаульском. Да, в Саксауле.
У тебя есть братья?
Братья? У меня есть старший брат. А у тебя?
У меня тоже есть.
Всего один или несколько?
Два. У меня есть два братья.
Вообще, сколько тебе лет и сколько лет твоим братьям?
У меня лет 9, средний брат 16.
16, так. Здорово.
Старший брат 20.
20, то есть я старше всех твоих братьев и тебя, получается.
Да.
Давайте со всеми познакомимся.
Английский, да?
Да, я на самом деле снимаю видео на английском. Вот, просто я с вами по-русски разговариваю. Вага. VAGABOND. Вот так вот это будет. 3, 2, 1. Есть.
Давай.
Еще раз прощаемся. Все, всем пока. Давайте. Пока-пока.
Давай.
Все. Хорошего вечера. Все, счастливо всем. В Аральск я еду.
Туда?
Да.
На чем?
На попутках?
Откуда?
С России. I've spent roughly 20 minutes at the hitchhiking spot and successfully hitched a ride all the way to the city of Aralsk, where I'm planning to spend this night. Как тебя зовут, кстати? Руат. Ага, меня Иван. Очень приятно. Yeah, so being picked up by this kind of like a truck driver, basically. He's also going to the city, and I guess, yeah, in roughly an hour we'll get there, and I will need to find a place to pitch the tent. So I will definitely have to do it because it's getting colder and colder, and the nighttime temperature will decrease up to 8 degrees. Окей, ладно, спасибо тебе. Давай, доброй ночи. Все, пока-пока. Fantastic, we made it to the city of Aralsk, which I visited just half a year ago, a little bit more than half a year ago, for the first time, when I just became curious about this whole topic of the Aral Sea. And yeah, there is actually the video released from there, so make sure you've already watched it. To have dinner in Aralsk, I went to a very familiar restaurant which I visited during my first visit to the city. Back then I ordered fish from the Sea of Aral, but now I decided to stick to something more familiar. Well, I've already finished my portion of mashed potato, and this is the dumpling soup. Interestingly enough, when you order dumplings in Kazakhstan, it usually means that you order dumpling soup, not just dumplings like, let's say, in Russia. Not gonna lie, I haven't pitched the tent for almost 2 years. I chose to be happy and traveled light, but I'm back on the road, back to true, real VAGABOND adventure. Well, admittedly there is the hotel just like next door, but it's overpriced. I'm not going to pay it out of principle. That's why pitching a tent doesn't sound like a bad idea. Shit. Well, it doesn't look too bad. All we need to do is to put tarp on it and the tent is ready. I'm gonna sleep for at least 6 or 7 hours and then continue exploring the surrounding area tomorrow. Good morning world, successfully spent the night in my new tent. So far so good. The only thing is that woke up a little bit late. It's almost 10 AM. Let's head to the place where we can see the actual Aral, the Aral Sea. Pitched my tent at the back side of the construction, going on here in the local park. This park is interesting because it's situated right next to the museum, where you can find some of the ships which used to cruise around the Aral Sea, but nowadays they are parts of this museum and they will never be cruising around the Aral Sea again. You can still find some ancient fishing boats here at the dry seaport of Aral, with the view of these abandoned port cranes. Well, the sea started vanishing here in the 1950s or 60s with the beginning of irrigation of cotton fields. There were 2 rivers supplying the Aral Sea, Amudarya and Sirdarya. Waters from there started being taken for cotton fields, so Aral Sea didn't get enough water to sustain itself, and therefore it started gradually disappearing. Well, nowadays some measures are being taken to preserve the Aral Sea, its northern part, specifically situated in Kazakhstan. They built the dam 20 years ago, and supposedly because of this the biodiversity of the sea has partially been restored again. The amount of water also increased. However, it's highly unlikely that in any time in the future we'll see again vessels moored here or something, and this seaport has probably gone in history forever. This is how you are usually getting to such abandoned places. Just reach the point where the fence is ruined and you're good to go. There it is, the forgotten seaport of Aralsk. Some vehicles were able to come here in the past, and the cargo was basically loaded inside them by this giant arrow over there. I think it's a good idea to try to climb this ladder. It's quite weak. Consider the age of this construction. You can see that the crane was built in 19 57. These are the inside outs of the port crane, and we are reaching the most sacred place, the cabin, the cap of an actual crane operator. So this was what the person working here was able to see. So imagine somewhere here used to be the control panel, so they were able to move the crane further or backwards. I can imagine that working in this seaport was quite a prestigious job. You were supplying the country with fish. What a communist idea, isn't it? My goal was to reach the small fishing village of Tastubek, located about 5 kilometers from the shore of the Aral Sea. I started hitchhiking on the outskirts of Aralsk, at a location where, according to the map I was using, the road toward Tastubek began. I spent nearly 4 hours standing there, trying to catch a ride, but had no success. What apparently has just happened is that I managed to hitchhike a local resident of the fishing village where I'm heading. But he doesn't speak Russian, first of all, and secondly, because of this struggles with understanding, it's not clear why did he decide to get back to the city. Apparently he's just going to the grocery store to get some supplies for their home, because there are probably no grocery stores in that village, so it's very remote. The village had no proper grocery store, so residents regularly traveled to the city to buy supplies. We spent some time visiting shops while the driver stocked up on food and other necessities. We also picked up his father, who had come to Aralsk to attend a wedding. Rather than following the road shown on my map, we seemed to follow an unknown road across Kazakh steppe. It was apparently a shortcut only locals knew about. That bumpy and uneven road stretched endlessly across the empty Kazakh steppe. And eventually, after sunset, we finally arrived in the village. The driver offered me a place to stay for the night with his family. In the village, he lived together with his father, his wife, and their 3 children. People here still struggle with water sources, with drinking water sources. Check out this ancient sink. They don't have proper taps. They have a giant balloon over here, like the reservoir for water, and you have to use it carefully, step by step, just like this, you see?
Rybak. Yeah. Yeah. Большие рыбы.
Папа, давай поем.
Подожди. Это я. Получается, когда море стало уходить отсюда? Или оно... Подождите, нет, оно же всего в 5 километрах, да? То есть оно никуда не ушло в этой части?
Давно, километр. Давно.
То есть... С тех пор, как бы...
Есть.
Ну, то есть море есть, но сейчас там больших кораблей уже нету. Только обычные лодки. The guys basically made the bed for me, which I greatly appreciate. And apparently tomorrow, when I wake up, I will be able to eventually walk towards the Aral Sea. Once again, I asked locals whether it's possible to catch fishermen or not, and they said that only illegal fishermen can be found right now, but actually there are restrictions imposed on fishing up until June. Funnily enough, I woke up at the seaside view. You can see a portion of the sea down there, and that's exactly the place where I'm going to walk today. This is how the bathroom looks. It's a public bathroom, which apparently can be used by multiple houses. See, classic squat bathroom. Walking down local roads, you can easily find traces of the sea presence here in the past. For example, shells. Check this out. These, I don't know, millions, billions of shells have been preserved as a natural reminder of the fact that here used to be the Aral Sea. We made it to the Sea of Aral, which is already clearly visible behind me. There is a bunch of boats of local fishermen which are parked on the coast. There are currently no fishermen because of the temporary prohibition of fishing. Very simple boats, not gonna lie. So you cannot see proper vessels here, proper ships anymore. There is the overlook of the Aral Sea coastline. Marshy soil, very shallow waters on the approaches to the beach, to the coast. A couple of boats parked straight here. A bunch of boats are stored there on the shore. And that's pretty much it. We reached the vanished Sea of Aral, which has not vanished, in fact. Since Kazakhstan built the dam in 2005, the northern portion of the Sea of Aral, which we are currently witnessing, effectively has been preserved. So biodiversity of the sea is improving gradually. The amount of water seems to increase step by step. The sea continues to feed citizens of the surrounding villages. There are still fishermen living here. They catch the fish here, they sell it in the city, in some other villages, and that's how they make living. Beyond fishing, which still remains an important part of life in the settlements around the Aral Sea, there are a few other traditional forms of livelihood that continue to support local communities. For example, livestock breeding. In particular, camels and horses are commonly raised in this region. Tourism does exist in the area as well, but it is still in a very early and undeveloped stage, without a significant infrastructure or flow of visitors.